A true believer, I believe when they didn't believe her. That's why I don't let opinions affect me. I do what I want to do. If they do or they don't accept me, they expect me to give up. I almost did. Things went from moving faster, slow motion. I was losing focus, stuck on that. It was smooth on the surface, but underneath it was broken. Hoping to find hope in this hopeless world we live in. What you give is what you given. Gotta make wise decisions.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on E.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. First carry for Nick Chubb. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Henry Anderson, big man from Stanford, there for the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They go with Chubb on second down. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go. Green 39, green 39.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Higgins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now Rosen on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Higgins. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go now.
Handoff comes to Chubb, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Play action. It's Darnold. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the middle. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Darnold now to throw. Sliding up, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Myles Garrett in there to drop it for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Set. 3-19.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's Steve McClendon that time who winds up getting him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Green 39! Green 39!
On second down, Johnson. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Hurry up, here we go!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Now let's go!
A give. This is Chubb. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And now it's Rosen looking. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Brandon Copeland with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Let's go, ball. Our ball.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be through.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Darnold from the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Here we go now.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
They'll look to throw on first down to Josh Rosen. Open man, the tight end fells. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb, and he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Jordan Jenkins leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
Here we go now. Green 39.
On 2nd down, Rosen. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the Jets set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. His first catch of the divisional round goes for a first down. He had 5 catches last week in their wild card win.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Darnold. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
On first down, Darnold. And Jones has it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. A dump underneath to Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go now.
Off of play action, Darnold. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
How about this Browns defense they've held so far? This is now 3rd and goal. Here's Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Jets are able to strike for 6.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchdown. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
The Browns on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go. Green, 30 now.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And New York set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
That's caught right side by Anderson. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep. He's got it at the 15. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Faking the give, Darnold. He'll buy some time right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Anderson. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Darnold to throw again. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO. And now we are ready to resume play. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash here should be an and just like that, on we head to half number 2. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. Andre Roberts now to return it. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustment.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Larry Ogunjobi in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, Not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Here's Darnold. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Darnold. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. It seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Fells has it, left side. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They go to Johnson again. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
You got him. You got him.
The Browns on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7.
Gone.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty. Whoosh.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. He was looking for Matthews that time.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football, and at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now it's Rosen. And this one is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
New York set to take the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Darnold on 1st down. Herndon's got it complete. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now.
The play fake, and it's Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, They have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Set, 3-19.
On second down, here's Rosa. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Well, that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
39.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And now it's Rosen looking. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
On third down, Rosen. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the... Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a 2-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
But this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. E.J. Gaines the one that time to knock it away.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Jets on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now.
They'll run it with Jones. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
I tell you, on that first glance, I thought he got it easily. But the mark was not a real favorable one. As it turns out, they do give him the first down, but that was very close to going the other way.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Darnold. Man open left side is Brown. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it with Jones. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The Jets on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
All right, here we go.
He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Now it's Duke Johnson here on the return. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage. And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense that it was important to them because nothing has to change. You don't have to uproot anything. Sometimes when you're going on the road, you may have to even leave earlier in order to get acclimated if it's going to be a tough environment against the team you're going to play. So being at home was a big deal, but now they know, at least they feel like it, they're moving on to the championship round. There's got to be no better feeling. They'll get that 24-hour rule in. Enjoy that before they look forward to the next opponent.
Here's Rosen. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Rosen to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now it's Rosen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Jenkins in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Throwing now is Rosen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Higgins. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And they try to sweep to Jones. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. So they file for the exits here in silence. And what a job to come in on the road, divisional round of the playoffs, and you get to end it by going down to a knee.
Now their confidence has to be at an extreme high. That's 2 weeks in a row they've gone on the road and gotten it done. They don't care where they go. From here on out, they think they can beat anyone.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
It's on earth, but it's where I